Okay, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide is coming, and it's taking a completely different approach than every other Fold before it. Shorter, wider, more like a real tablet. There are 5 reasons this could actually win, and one big reason it might not. Let's break it down. First, it could make the cover screen feel normal again. Anyone who's used a Galaxy Z Fold knows the cover screen is tall, narrow, and awkward. Reaching the notification shade with one hand means repositioning your grip, and typing takes getting used to. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide reportedly carries a 5.4-inch cover display that's wider and shorter than the Fold 7. That brings it closer to the feel of an ordinary compact phone, one that sits comfortably in your hand without requiring thumb acrobatics. If you've ever owned a phone from before screens started growing taller every year, you know how much that sense of balance matters. Second, it gives media room to breathe. There's a quiet awkwardness to watching video on current book-style foldables. The cover screen's narrow shape forces letterboxing on most content, and even the inner display's near-square proportions aren't ideal for widescreen formats. A 4:3 inner display changes that dynamic considerably. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide's 7.6-inch screen reportedly lands in proportions that suit media consumption far better, making landscape video less of a letterboxed compromise and gaming more spatially generous. That's a meaningful difference in day-to-day comfort. Third, it finally starts acting like a real tablet. Foldables have always carried a bit of an identity crisis. They're marketed as phone-tablet hybrids, but the tablet side of that pitch has always been shaky. Apps designed for tablet layouts don't always know what to do with a nearly square display. The 4:3 ratio is a well-understood canvas. It's the same one the iPad has used for years, and developers have been designing for it far longer than they've been designing for foldable proportions. Not every app will look perfect, but the number that feel genuinely at home on that inner screen stands to increase considerably. Fourth, it could become the notebook you actually carry. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, when unfolded, reportedly sits at dimensions close to a small memo book's proportions. That makes it a surprisingly natural surface for quick thoughts, rough sketches, and anything else worth capturing. The device is also reportedly thicker than the standard Fold 7, measuring around 9.8 millimeters when folded, which gives Samsung more internal room to work with. It's hard not to wonder whether some of that space is being reserved for S Pen support, which Samsung hasn't confirmed yet. A stylus-compatible screen at these proportions would make it feel genuinely notebook-like. Fifth, Apple's shadow could actually help it. Foldables still carry a reputational burden. The people who haven't bought one yet aren't hesitating because of price or specs. It's the lingering sense that this is still experimental hardware. Apple's rumored foldable iPhone is expected to sport dimensions strikingly similar to the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, wider and shorter. When Apple commits to a hardware direction, cautious buyers pay attention. Apple's presence in the same design space lends the wider foldable format a credibility that Samsung alone hasn't quite managed to manufacture on its own. But here's the problem. Samsung has a commitment problem. Samsung has a demonstrated pattern of building genuinely interesting experimental devices and then quietly stepping back when the numbers don't perform. The Galaxy Z Trifold is the most recent example. Compelling hardware whose long-term future already feels uncertain. Buying into the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide means betting that Samsung will stay committed long enough to make the second and third generations worth waiting for. Accessories take time to mature. Software optimization accumulates across generations, and the design refinements that make a device feel truly polished rarely arrive on the first attempt. So there you have it. 5 reasons the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide could win. Better cover screen, improved media consumption, real tablet experience, notebook potential, and Apple's validation. And one reason it might not: Samsung's commitment problem. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide might be a genuinely thoughtful piece of hardware, but Samsung's track record with experimental form factors hasn't yet inspired the long-term trust that a device like this quietly depends on. If you want the full breakdown when this thing launches, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next one.